Okay, so YouTube ate my last video. I can't find it. So real quick, here's a walkthrough on how to do a Ravelry project, because this is part of a lot of designers' tests, and this will work for any designer that you work for. Usually they want you to fill out one of these. So you're going to go to Ravelry.com. If you don't have an account, it is free to create one. Once you get your account created, you're going to go over here to My Notebook and click on Projects. And it's going to take you to your project page. You click on this blue button over here that says Add a Project, and it will take you to the start of the project form. So here you're going to just fill out this information here. You can name your project whatever you want. I usually name it like something similar to what I'm doing, but I always include if it was a test or not. And then here you're going to fill out if you used a pattern, you didn't use a pattern, or the pattern that you used is not in Ravelry. Since the pattern that we're testing is already in Ravelry, what you're going to do is it's a flower of life. If you can't remember exactly what it's called, that's fine, but you can just type in flower of life. If you are doing a test and it is not in Ravelry yet, this is where you're going to put that test code that designers give you. So you click next, and it's going to search for the pattern. It's going to go through all the flower of life patterns in here. Jen's is the second one that you guys are testing, the oversized hooded. So you're going to choose that pattern, and then it's going to take you to the main project form. So on here is where you're going to add all of the information. So to add photos, you click on the second little tab at the top, choose the files you want. We'll just add a file here, you click upload. You don't have to wait for this to completely finish uploading. I usually do just to make sure, but once you're finished with your photos, click the finish with photos. Fill out all this information over here so it's finished, how happy you were with the project, your progress on it, when you started it, when you completed it. Fill out that information. You know, we'll just say we did it like that. Your photos pop in. Usually when I do made for, I put testing or whatever. It was for Star Lily Creations. I think there's a space in there. Maybe not. I don't know why she's not popping up. You can link to her. I know she's in here. I just can't remember what she comes up as. There she is, Star Lily Creations, all one word. Fill out the size that you made. If you made a medium, the pattern's already linked. And then fill out the category information. Obviously this one would be clothing. It's a coat or a jacket. You can add some tags. This just helps people when they search, like what you would search for to find this pattern. Add in your hook size. So if you made a medium and you used a 6mm hook, where'd it go? 6mm hook. The gauge right here, you fill in the gauge from the pattern, and it's going to pop in there exactly what the pattern is. Here you can add your yarns. I used a mandala yarn for a lot of mine. So you can type in mandala and click on this little link button, and it's going to pop up all the different mandala yarns. So let's just say Lion Brand Mandala. And then pick your colorway. So let's say I used the gnome colorway. You don't have to really fill out the dye lot unless you want to be that specific. And then down here you can do, if you used full skeins, say I used 3 full skeins, it's going to calculate my yardage right there for me to tell me how many yards I used. You can also enter totals instead. If you know exactly how many yards you used of each one, or a guesstimate, or if you use multiple colors, you can do it that way. So there's 3. You don't have to fill out any of the purchased information, but you can also, like, if you used a few of the same kind of yarn, like if you're using like big twist yarn from Joann's, but they're different colors, you can copy and just change the colorway. You can also add other yarns right there. This little thing right here, you can add another yarn. Here are the project notes. This is where you're going to put anything that you deviated from the pattern, any thoughts, helpful tips for anyone else making this pattern. And then over here, you can rate the pattern. So your overall rating of the pattern, how clear the pattern was, how difficult you think the pattern was. You can also rate your yarn if you want as well. And then at the very bottom, before you save it, there's a spot where you can add private notes. Private notes are not shown to everyone. They're just your own personal notes. If you want to make the pattern again and you had to change something, or, you had to drop down a hook size because you couldn't meet gauge or something like that, you can include that in your public notes, or you can also include it in your private notes. Those are just for you. And when you're all done, you click Save Changes. And what that's going to do is it will save it to your notebook, but it's also going to link it to her pattern. So if I click on her pattern, it's going to take me to her page, and then I can click up here on the projects and look and see all the different people that have made this pattern and actually filled out the project form. So if I am somebody looking to buy this pattern, I can come in and look at all the different projects, and it's going to tell me, like, this person used 1,749 yards, this person only used 1,446. That's why we want you to be so specific with your project forms, because it helps other people when they're looking to purchase the pattern, how much yardage they're going to need and that kind of thing. So that is how you do a project form. If you fill it out and you forget something, you can go back up into your projects and click on it, and you can come in and edit it. So if you need to edit it, the edit button's right up here at the top. You just click edit, and it's going to open it back up to where you can change things like that. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me and be more than happy to help you with Ravelry. It is not the most user-friendly website, but it is really helpful for designers.